Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the Nikolai Berlinski Show. This is your host Jacob Stillwell, and in today's episode we're going to be talking about Verruckt, the hardest map in Zombies. Verruckt is the very first DLC Zombies map to ever be released. It came out on March 19th of 2009, and it's known for its difficulty as well as its innovations it introduced since Nocturne and Toten. Without further ado, let's get into the tour. To start, there are actually two different spawn rooms. In games with 3 or more players, 2 players will spawn on each side of the spawn room. A door that requires power is shut, separating the 2 pairs of players. We're going to get back to power later in the video. The first side of spawn I'm going to refer to as the Quick Revive side. Most notably, this room has the Quick Revive perk, which we'll go over later. You'll find 2 wall guns, 3 barricades, and 2 buyable doors. The first door leads to a small room with the door being the only way to enter. Inside there's 1 barricade and a wall gun. The second door is going to be the important one that'll lead to more areas of the map. After opening the main door, you arrive in a bigger room with 2 wall guns, some wall grenades, a box man which will come up later, and a wall full of barriers that zombies will break into. Lastly, there's a staircase with a buyable debris that you can move. Upon going up the stairs, you get to a very claustrophobic room with a balcony that you can walk out on that has a trap that we'll come back to later and another buyable door. Inside the room, there are 2 wall guns and Bouncing Betty secondary grenades. After opening up the next door, it leads you to a small room with a Speed Cola perk machine, a wall gun, and some buyable grenades. There's also arrows painted on the wall that point to the next buyable door. The next room is a kitchen, which is basically empty except for the fact that there's a door that has flashing lights emitting from the other side. After buying this door, it takes you to the power room. In the power room, there's a switch that the player can pull to turn on power across the entire map. This is where you'll find the mystery box, a staircase that takes you down to a single barrier, and then another door you can buy to take you to the other half of the map. On this side of the power room, it takes you to a hallway with 2 wall guns, a box mound, some barriers up and down the hallway, and a door that leads to the next section of the hallway. On this stretch, you'll find the 3rd box mound, another balcony with some barriers and a trap, the double tap perk machine, 2 wall guns, more bouncing betties, some more wall grenades, and a staircase leading down. Finally, once you go down the stairs, it'll bring you back to the other side of the spawn room, which I'm going to refer to as the Jug side. This room has 4 barriers, the final box mound, 2 wall guns, the Juggernog perk machine, and a power door that was shut previously, but now it's open. With the map tour complete, let's get to what's inside. First, we're going to go over the wall guns that you can find across the map. There are a total of 11 individual wall guns you can buy in Verruckt, being the M1 Grand for 600, the Car 98K for 200, the Springfield for 200, the Gewer for 600, the STG 44 for 1200, the MP40 for 1000, the Thompson for 1200, the double barrel shotgun for 1200, the sawed-off double barrel shotgun for 1200, and then the trench gun for 1500, as well as the bar with a bipod for 2500, which is extremely overpriced. In addition to guns you can buy grenades for 250 and bouncing betties for 1000. Verruckt was also the first map to introduce multiple wall buy locations for the same weapon. The biggest innovation that Verruckt brought to the table were perks. There are 4 perks on the map, being Speed Cola, which makes the player reload faster, Double Tap, which increases the fire rate for the player's weapons, Quick Revive, which makes you revive teammates faster, and Juggernog, which gives the player more health so they can survive 4 hits instead of 2. You can purchase these perks from across the map by going up to their respective machines. Perks stay with the player until they go down. Once down, the player must buy perks again even if they're revived. Another innovation that Verruckt made is the moving mystery box. In Noct, the box only had 1 place where it would remain for the entire game. In Verruckt, once you hit the box a certain amount of times, you'll get a teddy bear instead of a weapon for that hit. It'll refund you your points, and the box will randomly move to one of the other box mounts found across the map. The last big innovation that Verruckt made was the electric trap. There are 2 of these across the map, and you can purchase them for 1000 points once you have the power on. While on there, you'll shock the doorways leading to the balconies, damaging players and killing zombies that will try to walk through. After its use, there's a small recharge time before you can use it again. Last episode we mentioned the Springfield being the worst gun in Zombies. While we do see its return in Verruckt, we also see what most would consider to be the most beloved gun in all of Zombies, the PPSH. The PPSH can shred zombies. It has the much needed mobility of an SMG, but the ammo capacity and damage of an LMG. The ray gun also returns as the only wonder weapon on Verruckt. Now that you know all the things you can find inside the map, we can go over a few strategies that you can use to get to a high round. I'm going to start by talking about co-op strategies, since that's what I was playing when I got my footage for this video. There's not an extremely good way to get to a high round when it's co-op on Verruckt, because it's such a tight map, and it's definitely harder with more players. The first option you have is to camp. In my opinion, the best place to camp is in the kitchen near Speed Cola. If you can get some LMGs between the members of your team and a lot of perks, you can take advantage of the one entryway the zombies use to get to your spot. In order to do this, it's important that you spawn on the jug side of the map because you want to keep the power door shut from the kitchen side. Another place to camp is in the bar room on the quick revive side of spawn. I cannot say I recommend this to anyone who's trying to compete for a world record or anything, because if you get overwhelmed at all, your run is over. One last 2-player strategy is to have one player train in the Thompson room while the other player trains upstairs in the double tap hallway using traps. While we're on the topic of training, we can actually move over to solo as well, which is 100% easier to getting the high rounds. Almost all of the solo world records for this map use the same strategy, and that's to train in the double tap hallway with the flamethrower. Like I mentioned in my Knocked on Totem video, the flamethrower is going to be one of the most recommended weapons for training since it has infinite ammo. The double tap hallway also has one of the electric traps that can kill zombies up to an infinite round. As long as you manage not to get stuck, your game can really go on forever. And that's going to wrap up everything I have to say about Verruckt. If you all enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more awesome content. Next week I'll be doing everything you need to know about Shino Numa, and I also stream Easter egg runs about twice a week on Black Ops 3. Until next time guys, peace.
Takio, look! Nikolai has more awesome videos!